going to tell you everything you need to know about converting your e-bike, converting your manual bike into an e-bike. Don't skip around the video. You can fast forward as much as you want to, but this is some important information, so you're going to need to listen in. All right, let's start with the different types of motors. There's the front motor, the mid motor, and the rear motor. Essentially, the front motor is the easiest to install.
There we go.
The mid motor is the best for off-road use, like climbing up mountains and such. And the rear motor is the best for city rides, which is what I do. So that's what I have. I'm gonna put a clip on my, yeah. Really, the type of motor that you get depends on your situation. If you're a city commuter like me, then I would recommend the rear motor because that's just what I have. I'm speaking. Let's move on to the battery. This part, you don't want to cheap out on this part because the battery is the reason why you would see e-bikes on the news for fires and such. I wouldn't go for a battery that's under 150. I actually got my battery for XY amount of price. I'm going to put it on the screen right now, but it's really up to you and what you need. It also depends on how long you plan to ride on one charge. For example, my bike, I can go about an hour and 30 on one charge, which is like my max. So do pay attention to the voltage and the amperage. My battery, 48 volt, 14.4 amperage, that takes me about an hour 30 on one charge, more or less. So if you need more than that, go higher. If you need less than that, go lower. But do not cheap out on the battery. And I also wouldn't recommend those triangle shaped batteries, because those are the batteries that you would see on the news. I'm going to put one up on screen right now. For maintaining the battery itself, don't drain your battery down to where it'll fail you. If you do it, it will compromise the integrity of the battery and make it not last as long as it would regularly. Make sure to wait at least 30 minutes before charging your battery after a really long ride. If you want to avoid overheating your battery at all costs. If you don't have a way to cover your battery, try not to go out in the rain, because it's a battery. If you don't plan to ride for a long time, make sure to keep your battery around 50%, that way it won't discharge. And one of the most important tips, make sure you're always present when you're charging the battery. The battery will not charge the battery overnight. Most common ways to overheat and eventually boom. So keep all of those battery tips in mind. Moving on, you need to know if your bike is compatible with the parts that you plan to buy to convert your bike into an e-bike. If your bike can't support the weight or the certain components that go into making the e-bike, then it's just not going to work. On that topic, you're going to have to do your own independent research based on the type of bike that you have. Speaking from my experience, I have a mountain bike. I'm going to put it up on screen right now. And the components that I got were compatible. Also, really want to make sure the brakes are compatible with the e-bike. I'm going to put a little side note here. I would recommend converting a mountain bike just because that suspension will help you absorb impacts if you were to hit a curb or anything like that. It's a really good way to avoid flats. Lastly, make sure you have an idea of the type of conversion kit you want to get, because not all conversion kits are the same. Do a little bit of research on that as well. Now that you have all the parts to convert your bike, the steps are really simple. I'm gonna quick shoot them right now. Those are the simple steps, more or less, on how to convert your bike. I would recommend you search up a video of how to convert your bike. Personally, I used this video right here, and that was my more or less general guide of how to convert your bike. But if you don't have any tools or experience in managing hardware and stuff like that, then I would recommend you go to a shop and have somebody convert it for you. It might be pricey, but if you're not confident in your own ability to convert the bike yourself, it is something that you should consider. I don't have too much experience in managing bikes, but I was able to convert it myself anyway. Now that you have a general idea of how to convert your bike, a couple of important tips that you need to know. You need protection. You need some sort of helmet or anything like that. E-bikes are way faster than regular bikes. So riding around without a helmet is essentially you consenting to turning your head into a watermelon. I'm gonna put another video up on screen of with the helmet versus without a helmet, but a helmet is one of the non-negotiables. I would also recommend some hand gear if your area is cold or anything like that, or just to look cool. Hand gear is nice too. Another non-negotiable is lights. You need lights on your bike so other cars and pedestrians can see you. It would also help you see and ride at nighttime too. Because trust me, trying to ride in the dark is not fun. This is something that I've personally done. I have a camera mounted to my bike in case anything were to happen. We'll have footage of that. I can send to lawyers, anything, if anything were to happen. Customize it if you want. Customize your helmet too. I'm gonna put this in the video as well. Make sure to search up your city or region's e-bike laws. It varies from state to state, but personally in New York, the speed limit for an e-bike is 25 miles per hour for unregistered bikes. Make sure to do your own research and safe riding.
I don't think you wanna try with me.